enjoying your holiday, President's Day. If you're like me, you were probably surprised to wake up this morning and realize that today was kind of a holiday thing for the government anyway. It's President's Day. But when the government takes a day off, we all do. Let's give some time for people to enter the room. I might not leave this stream up. I might take it down after we're done. I don't know. I might leave it. Who cares? We're going to talk about litigation. What's up, Steve? I met with my attorneys a little while ago. Claudette, good to see you. LaSween Machine in the house. Come on in, folks. What's up, Freeman? It's good to see you all in here. Wingspan Angel, always a pleasure. Stacy, thank you. Yeah, so I met with my attorneys this morning. What's up, Bill? East Coast audit in the house, Joan. We can sit here and do this the whole time everybody enters, but let's just let everybody get in here. Let's talk about it. So, litigation, lots of it. Here comes the stress again. It's almost like maybe it's easier to not run a YouTube channel while all this is going on, because you really got to do a lot of work to for the records and everything to give to your attorneys, and it's almost like a thing you got to focus on. I mean, it's like it takes up all your time like a job, even though the attorneys are doing all the work. Yeah, roll call. Sorry. I'm just happy to see you all, But yeah, so it went really well. Now these are the same attorneys we've used in the past. They're brilliant, totally qualified, beyond qualified, more qualified than I thought they were for this particular litigation. I didn't even realize it, but our attorneys are very, very well known intellectual property attorneys, which is the type of law for like business owners, and YouTube is a business. So when there's damage to a business owner or the business, what you do is you hire an intellectual property attorney to take that case if you've got an issue like slander, intellectual property theft, trademark theft. So the way trademark works, you're supposed to file one. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. But it doesn't matter, because the way the law says on trademark and copyright is that, I'm going to go over some notes here with you, some legal notes. If a person has built a reputation on a specific logo or trademark or well-known marking, then the state recognizes, the law recognizes your rights to that trademark. More so, these particular damages were done very much intentionally, admittedly, by the people that did it. Other YouTubers, like Chris Ruff. And the cease and desist had already been, filed, served. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Under the Lanham Act, even if your channel isn't a formally registered trademark, you have common law trademark rights based on its use in commerce and the goodwill that's built around it. If you built the goodwill around it, if you built a reputation on a specific trademark, the law recognizes that as yours. But I got a legal surprise up my sleeve. I guess they thought that I didn't worry about my business at all and didn't file anything. They'd be wrong. But even if I hadn't, I mean, under the Lanham Act, it's covered. So, When someone forms an LLC and tries to steal the business, they can't do it without getting sued. There's a lot of other stuff. Domain names, squatting on someone's domain name that can be sued on. Right of publicity, misappropriation of trade secrets. Oh, that gets into the criminal realm, doesn't it? Official misconduct, since the person that's doing this is a person who uses their official capacity to get information about the business. Particularly this John Justin Scarborough guy, who thought he would be intimidating sometime back, October 31st of 2023. He was trying to be intimidating, and he thought, well, I know how I'll intimidate this couple. I will show them that I have access to their YouTube channels, and I know how much money they make, and all that. So, upon a regular records request, had nothing to do with YouTube, upon a regular records request, back in October of 23, Scarborough thought that he would be cute, and trying to make sure that I don't show you all like addresses or anything like that. Bear with me. He thought he would be cute and send me and Tiffany inside information about our YouTube channels, how much money we were making, how we were making it, what platform we were making it on, how many views we were getting, how many ads we were getting, because if y'all remember this, which I've mentioned it a couple times, Meade County government took a warrant. Took a warrant out to get, here it is. Let me make sure there's not an address on here. Took a warrant out. Remember this? Put a one in the chat if you remember this. Took a warrant out so they could get into our electronic files, data, videos, communications, including metadata, location data, stored, sent, received, deleted from social media applications such as YouTube, and or any other third-party programs or applications located in communications entered to the system, as well as communicated from the system to the user, global positioning system, data, and any other geolocation data, records of internet activity, including internet protocol, IP address, and port IDs, firewall logs, transactions with the internet hosting providers, co-located computer systems, cloud services, caches, browser history, cookies, bookmarks, favorite web pages, passwords, so do you all see the problem here? The Meade County government had access to my YouTube channel. Scarborough says on October 31st, hey, I know about all the private shit behind the scenes in your YouTube studio, all about your channel. I know how you run it, know how you function it, I know how you operate it. I have access to it. He proved it. That was what he did. He thought he would be slick and intimidating and proved to me for making a records request. Y'all know how we've explained in different circumstances how what happens to people in Meade County when they do records requests on these people. Scarborough very particularly replies with some type of bullshit threat, or He gives information saying, I know more about you than you think. Trying to intimidate. That guy's out of fucking control. Hey, elections are coming up. Meade County residents. Elections are coming up. You got a job to do. Wimpy's behind it. Sheriff of Meade County. Not just my case. Meade County residents, if you're listening, you got work to do. You need to clean your government up. Your sheriff should not be working with the jailer to try to intimidate people through public records and stealing their businesses. And let's not forget to mention that the co-operators of this stuff are lifelong piece of shit criminals. I mean, Chris Ruff holding a gun to a kid's head to steal money from him, threatening to kill his whole family and shit. Michael Kaiser, who's currently just now starting what will be a very long prison sentence with a convicted indictment for a murder of a disabled veteran. I mean, that's the business partners that these people are choosing. Todd Bryant, low-life liar, living in his wife's basement, sticking his nose in everybody's business because he's so worried about getting 500 or 600 views on the YouTube channel. Won't keep his nose in his own business. The name, all of it, intellectual property, FPS, the name. Yeah, everything about for public safety was covered completely. I'm leaving it like it is and letting attorneys handle all the legal matter. So there's still communication going on between Google, which owns YouTube, and my attorneys and this, that, and the other. But I'm not worried about the other channel anymore as far as moving forward. I mean, as I said before, I mean, we just move forward. It's not that hard. I mean, we got a lot going on in life. I've got a career. I just found out, when I woke up this morning, I found out that I'm off work today. Most people probably so used to work that they would know that, but like I'm so out of sorts from work, from being off for almost a year. It got weird. I forgot it was President's Day when I got up this morning. So, I mean, I knew I had my attorney's appointment, but I was thinking I had to go to work after that, and I don't. So here I am, hanging out with you. You calling in today, 7? Yeah, Todd's getting roasted by Ruff. Todd and Ruff are fighting. I don't know, man. It's just so childish. You know what I'm saying? These people are so ignorant that I'm dealing with. I wish they just stayed the hell out of my life. You know what I mean? So he had your channel taken down and knew about the information. Yeah, he knew all about all my information from YouTube. I mean, he sent it to me in a records request back in 2023. All of it. Access. Proved to me that he had access of it. Little homie. Little homie. Oh, Todd. Ruff said that. Yeah. Yeah, Todd apparently spurred out over being called little homie. But I'll tell you this. Chris meant it derogatory. Like, Chris plays victim is what he does. He's a bitch. So he plays victim. He takes a swing on somebody and then acts like the victim and then tries to act like Mr. Tough Guy. I guarantee you he's never been in a fight in his life. If he has, he lost. Right? And then same with Todd. Todd's never really been in a fight. I mean, when they're talking about how they're been in 50 street fights and won every one, shit. It's a lie. These people are liars, man. Just like Kaiser was a liar. You know? Todd's looking for clout by digging into people's life and getting involved where he has zero business. Exactly, Chris. Exactly, KY Reacts. That's exactly what he does. He interferes in people's legal business, like actual legal business. And the only concern he's got is he might get 500 or 600 views on YouTube. And a couple super chats from JJ. Little homie did nothing but train wreck his whole military career. Clown, stolen valor, man. Yeah. Yeah, Todd's a joke. But so as far as my lawsuit's concerned, I'm not going to say who all we're naming. You could probably figure that out. But of course, we all know that Chris Ruff's included. Now he is using another YouTuber's physical address. I wonder if anybody knows Pigs Under Pressure, they might want to reach out to him and ask if they realize, they may or may not realize that Chris is doing all this legal damage to people and stirring all this smoke and then hiding behind that dude's address. My concern is that someone's going to get tired of Chris and think they found him, and they're going to go to Pigs Under Pressure's house where Chris is not actually at. And then that puts Pigs Under Pressure in jeopardy. Anytime you got a friend like Chris Ruff, you don't have a friend. You got a person like Lick the Whole Boot thought Chris Ruff was his friend. Chris Ruff got Lick the Whole Boot's channel removed almost immediately. Because what did Chris do? Well, he broke terms of service. He violated terms of service by coming after my channel sideways and lying about the reports and stuff, and then he bragged about it on YouTube, but he didn't do it on his channel. He went to Lick the Whole Boot's channel. So when YouTube watched the video, which was intended for them to see Chris Ruff admitting that he had maliciously made those reports and hacked into my YouTube channel, it was Lick the Boot that took the fall for it, because the channel and the URL that was attached to that video was on Lick the Whole Boot's channel. Like, you can't have friends like that. You got friends like that, you're bringing issues to yourself. So, my advice would be, if you know Chris Ruff, get the fuck away from him. Stay away from him. He's going to do nothing but bring you damage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and look, JJ does it to the people he's around. So JJ brought so much heat to Kaiser that Kaiser might have been able to get away with what he was doing for a little while longer, stay under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Hell, they may have never even found out that he was out of state. But since he got on there with JJ and brought so much attention to themselves that, I mean, people did what they're supposed to do. They figured out what was going on and reported it. And now Kaiser is in jail. So JJ got Kaiser thrown in jail, in my opinion. And then Chris Ruff got Lick the Whole Boot's channel taken down. And here's my biggest concern. So Ruff is constantly threatening people at their homes and stuff, right? Like he's doing Todd right now. The fact that he's doing it to Todd and Todd's doing it to him just proves to you guys that they'll do it to anybody. They don't care. Friends, not friends, ever been friends, YouTube channel, don't matter. There's zero respect amongst that group. So the thing I'm saying is, this Pigs Under Pressure dude, Roy, people are getting his address thinking they have found this piece of shit who's been coming at them sideways. Luckily, I'm not the kind of guy to drive to your house and do anything. But I'm just saying, there are people out there that would respond like that. So Chris is going to step on some toes that decide that they don't want to take it legally. And where's that human going to end up? They're going to end up on Roy's doorstep. Now, I know Roy probably feels like, hey, I'm a tough guy, I can handle it, blah, blah, blah. It's not necessary. The best thing for you to do is to avoid the friendship with this person who is going to bring you problems. Why would you want someone using your address? And what kind of lowlife has to use another? This is a grown fucking man. Why does this grown fucking man need to use another grown fucking person's address? Unless they are completely irresponsible, which we know Chris Ruff is. He's no parent. He's no adult. He's not functioning in society. Why would you want to let him use your adulthood? Why would you say, okay, look, I have functioned in society to the point where I'm responsible enough to have a fucking address? Why would you give that to that motherfucker who can't even earn his own ability to have an address? That should be your first sign. Roy, if you're listening, man, think. You're putting yourself in jeopardy. You're putting your family in jeopardy from other people, not me. I'm taking legal action. I'm doing it through attorneys. There will be a service coming to your address. Don't freaking shoot the messenger or nothing, Roy. When Chris gets served at your house, it's because he's using your address. It's a lawful service, so stay chill. Don't do nothing stupid. Just accept it for Chris or whatever. Or better yet, email me and give me a way to send it directly to Chris so that you don't get involved. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ruff's hiding. He should turn himself in. Put a one in chat if y'all think he should just turn himself in. Deal with it like a man. What do y'all think? If you got a bunch of fucking warrants out for you and you're wanted for questioning at the FBI, just fucking deal with it like a man. That's what I think. They're going to get you. And look, I promised Kaiser that I'd be serving him when he went to jail, and I am. That process started today. Same thing for you, Ruff. When you're in jail, you're going to get served in the jail. It just makes it harder for you to defend yourself in the lawsuit. You have to do it all from the jail. You still get the same shit. It happens exactly the same. And just because you got an LLC, don't protect you. Don't protect your property and shit. I can take direct D. I'm going to be taking all your money that you have made, have saved, will make in the future, and taking it through the courts. The judge is going to bang the gavel and say, it's yours, Chris Ryder. That's how it's going to work. Yeah, let Roy know. I mean, he's got to make good decisions. That's a real bad choice. Like, I've already had a few people contact me and say, that motherfucking Chris is hiding at this address. I'm like, no, it's just using that address. But it's real easy to find because he registered direct D. And, all you got to do is Google Christopher Ruff and it brings up Roy's address and pictures of his house and shit. I ain't trying to dox you or nothing, Roy. I'm just saying, like, that's a position you're putting yourself in. Yeah, Ruff's got 5 active warrants. 5. Kaiser only had 1. Look where he's at. You know what I'm saying? And look, leave Roy out of this, y'all. He's cool, as far as I know. It's just stupid. I mean, he has to be stupid to be allowing a piece of shit like Chris Ruff doing what Ruff... Unless you don't watch anything Chris Ruff does and doesn't actually know Chris Ruff, which would be... doesn't really make sense considering that... he's letting him use his address. You know what I mean? Bro, people think that he lives there. They want to fucking hurt him for what he's doing. He's earning every ounce of it. I'm not a physically... I'm not going to physically do anything myself, but I am, one of Chris's victims who, if I didn't choose the legal path, of course I'd fucking show up to the doorstep. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that for Roy and his family. He has a family. Ruff is putting that family in jeopardy by just simply lying on government applications so that he can illegally function. He's going to get served. And now he's doubling down again, like the dumbass that he is, and calling me a pedo for nothing. Like, he's got 0 grounds to make that crazy allegation. Like, why would you paint that on people you don't even fucking know with nothing to back that up? Slander is obviously part of the suit. Yeah, and Freeman Paris, I would agree. Like, I bet the state of Kentucky would probably look at JJ and say, what's your deal with harboring criminals? Because he has been. He's fully aware. He was fully aware that Kaiser was wanted, and he's fully aware that Chris has wanted. Chris said it to JJ during their panel together. Yeah, JJ could be held responsible for that by the state. Like, I'm talking to people about handling things like that and many others right now. I mean, did they really think they could just get away with it? Like, put it on the chat if you all believe that Scarborough thinks he can get away with it. A 2 in chat if you think he knows and just doesn't care and is ready to go to jail. What do you all think? 1 in chat if you think he legit thinks he's just going to get away with it. 2 in chat if you think he just doesn't give a fuck and he's ready to go to jail. You think so, Claire? You think he's ready to go to jail? Because last I heard, he was planning on running for judge executive. He's mad at the judge executive because the judge executive is actually taking proper recourse action. Well, the fiscal court is, and the judge executive is above the fiscal court. So I think this is a form of retaliation. I mean, we all know that Scarborough is not capable of being judge executive of the county. That's the person that's responsible for all the finances. He can't even pass an audit on his jail, just the jail. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying that the people of Meade County might not make the mistake of being dumb enough to put the checkbox next to JJ, no matter what the fucking title or duty is. I mean, I hope not, but it's highly doubtful that the people of Meade, I mean, does he think that they're just fucking stupid there? They're not that stupid, JJ. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to vote the man to be judge executive and responsible for all of their money, the county's money. They're not going to do that. Some people thought he was running for sheriff. That's not true. Wimpy's running again. And as far as I know, Wimpy's got nobody running against him yet. Hopefully that changes. By God, if you have any experience in law enforcement and you're from the area of Meade County, you need to run for sheriff. He knows that he ain't going to win. He's actually been speaking to people that have spoken to me that told me that he said, I'm not going to win sheriff after everything that happened. Like, they're plotting how they're going to respond when they lose their positions already. I'm talking about JJ, Scarborough, Whited. Wimpy, Scarborough, Whited. That's what they've already been doing that. They've already been having discussions saying, we got to figure out what we're going to do. What's our game plan? Because we're not getting reelected. So for anybody that wants to run, now's your time. Now's your time. And get with me and I'll help you with your campaign video. I got plenty put it on in chat if y'all think I got plenty for campaign videos against any of them. I'll run them in the ground with facts. I'll run them in the ground with some facts. They wouldn't stand a chance in a campaign. Not with all the dirt that they've fucking shown me. Or Tiffany. Get with me. Get with me if you want to run for sheriff of Meade County. You got to be eligible. I ain't talking to everybody. And then jailer. We think we already got the jailer figured out. Judge executives, Troy Koch. I'll say this much. Koch needs to keep it together. Do a little better about standing against corruption. Not being so okay with it or letting it slide. And then rerun. Scarborough's not going to beat him. Koch actually does have the experience. He is very capable. So, like, if I was a Meade County resident and the ballot had Scarborough or Koch, I would choose Koch. I would probably want to talk to the man and say, look, what's your deal with allowing this stuff to go on under your nose and just dealing with it? I know they don't have the jurisdiction or duty to be able to do anything directly in their official positions. but you can report it. You know what I'm saying? Just letting this shit slide and not reporting it is a problem. You know it's happening. So there's that. I've been advised by a public official to attend the county's fiscal court hearings, Meade County, and do public speaking. What do y'all think of that? Even with all the litigation and everything going on. I'm talking about a government official said you need to go. I ain't gonna say who it was, but this is a person that, I mean, way above all them, said you need to go to the fiscal court hearings and public speak. Like, the information that you have with the facts, the fiscal court needs it from you. What do y'all think of that? Flying Grandpa says, you think I should go? Yeah, we have been exposing the corruption. Yeah, JJ skips out on fiscal courts. I'm sure he'll try to skip out if he knows we're going to bring the heat. Freeman Press says, why not? Claire says, go. Yeah, get it on record, said Richard. Yeah, I'm working that in. I'm going to make sure that, that JJ can't pull no bullshit and make false reports like he always does. Have to, kind of protect ourselves from the retaliation that we experience from there. Do you all mind if I redo an old, it's not an old video, it's an old incident with the sheriff's sister, Stephanie Wimpy, next for the channel? Put a one in chat if you're cool with that and you'll watch it. Remember when the sheriff's sister retaliated on us? Would y'all mind watching a completely reconstructed video that kind of puts all Stephanie Wimpy's stuff in one? You'd make the drive to see the speech, says Flying Grandpa. Dude, I'm thinking about going more than one, you know what I'm saying? Like attending them. And listen, I have an interest. I live the next county over. So I have an interest. I do business in Meade County. But, the information that I have for Meade County residents is outstanding. Like, it needs to be heard. And then, even more so, the fiscal court needs the information that we've obtained over the past 2 years. But I think the biggest, to me, what I think the biggest issue is with Meade County government right now is the retaliation that the public experiences from simple records requests. Like it is public information. You don't get to send someone a response with a threat saying, you're going to get arrested for organized crime or felonies or drugs or things like the threatening people for putting in simple records requests, even in their own cases. Like, that was the shit they tried to pull on me and Tiff. It was exactly what they tried to pull on us. Just like when they arrested us in the clerk's office, they picked the wrong people to do it to. And it's just like Ronnie, the dude at the sheriff department, the detective at the sheriff department, I think. He said, watch that guy be pressed, Ronnie. Remember that? Do y'all remember that from the last video? Put a one in chat if you heard that. Watch that guy be pressed, Ronnie, when they arrested me and Tiff. Watch that guy be pressed. He said, well, if he is, what did he say? If he is, y'all refresh my memory. What did he say? He said, y'all remember what he said after that? What Ronnie said? Ronnie said something like, I guess we'll find out. Something like that. We'll find out, says Stephanie. Well, they did, didn't they? They fucking found out. Now, press might have not been the exact technically right word for us, but by God, they got the same attention that they would have if we had been press. Didn't they? They fucked around and they found out. I wonder if Ronnie later was like, yep, we fucked around and found out. What do y'all think? So, is anybody like upset that we're suing Christopher Ruff and JJ Scarborough? Do I have any naysayers? I mean, I know I've blocked a lot of trolls and haters, but I mean, I'm leaning on y'all. What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about it? Want to chat if you support the lawsuit against Chris Ruff, JJ Scarborough, and them et al. Is how they put it in legal terms. Tune chat if you're against it, but for any reason. I mean, I'm always available to hear both sides, thoughts, ideas, things like that. They have earned it, you know. And when the channel Direct D gets shut down and booted from YouTube, and Christopher Ruff and his history channel and all that shit, when it's gone and he's no longer eligible to even show his face, I'm right when I say this, right? It is because of his actions. You can't blame anybody other than the dude that caused it. Sue the pants off of him, says East Coast. List every entity. What's that? List every entity Ruff ever had, and list his family members too. Exactly, that's what we're doing. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. I'm taking everything he has either ever had, has, or will have, and then we're going farther to the platforms that he's done it on. Kaiser, taking everything he's ever had, has, ever could have had, and then hitting the platform. Scarborough, taking everything they have, everything they had, and everything he would have ever had. That's what we're suing for. All of it. Every business entity in their name, every dollar they've ever brought in, every dollar that might be a reasonable person might think they'd bring in the future. We're taking it all. JJ's gotten a free pass through this whole thing. Flush him out. Absolutely, Freeman Press. And, sir, you've done a fantastic job showing facts and records on that. Like, proof that what you're saying is absolutely right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll take his damn goats. I'll sell them. Hell, I'll adopt his kids. I'm a man of my word. I'll take your kids, Chris Ruff. Keep them safe. You want on my YouTube channel, I'll take your kids for you. Keep them safe. I might not be the father for them myself, but like I'll ensure that they're in a better life than where they're at right now with you. Tiffany's really good. She's got a lot of connections when it comes to child services. We'll make sure they're safe, buddy. Here's your handles? Here's our handles, Stephanie? Yeah, we can absolutely show the damages, Bill. Matter of fact, I mean, my lawyers just looked at it. They're like, okay, we'll tell you what we're doing next. I've got some surprise information for you, too. This one's coming out of left field because there's been, we've obviously been sticking with one subject lately. How come Chris Ruff and JJ have the 4 public channel? That's what we're talking about, Waco. Their intellectual property theft. That's what they try to do. They thought that they were going to do it and there would be no repercussions. They were very wrong. I mean, I'm holding the law right here to it, and there's a whole bunch of violations there. Everything from trademark infringement to, do y'all remember what I read? I forgot what I read. There's like a whole bunch of law that I got today on it. They're fucked. I can't read those. VIPs. I like your sock accounts, but I can't read them out loud. JJ can't even speak for himself in fiscal court. Wimpy speaks for him, and the prosecutor speaks for him, Sidney Durham, which is complete conflict of interest. The dude should be speaking for his own fucking finances. And the county prosecutor has zero business speaking for Scarborough's jail financially. Zero business. Yes, Zazana, there are cyber crimes included. I didn't read those out loud because I want them to be a surprise. The socks are funny. I agree with you, Stephanie. Sock accounts. You know, but I want to try to stay kind of above it though, personally, like I am. I'm not going to give any excuses for any supervision of any kind of platform. I'm not going to give any excuses. So, you know, when I go to court, you're not going to see no banner. You're not going to see no bullshit. You're just going to see damage, proof, facts. Boom. I want that gavel to hit in the plaintiff's favor. So I'm going to keep it super, you know, on the up and up. As JJ would say, on the uppity up. I don't know why they got to do stupid shit hoodies. It's, I don't know. It's all for bootlicking too, you know what I mean? Like it's all for this elected official. Low level elected official. A jailer. Every other state doesn't even recognize a jailer as an official anymore. Like they just threw that job onto sheriffs everywhere else in the country because it's not necessary to have a whole elected official to run just the fucking jail. Sheriff can handle it. It's part of the duties of all sheriffs all over the nation except for in Kentucky. For a reason. It don't take that much. So here Scarborough can't even fucking handle what little petty job he has. And he's never there. He can't be. If he is, he's in his official capacity while he's supposed to be working the jail to play on YouTube with his criminal buddies. Yeah, somebody brought that up. So, Kimmy, might as well go over that. So, Kimmy, Fraud Wrangler's, Michael Kaiser's quote-unquote girlfriend, yeah, I firmly still believe she is missing. Here's why. Now, the last post I put up where the Kimmy account referenced my son, there was somebody a hypocrite that absolutely does not give a shit about what she supports being damaging and slander, but she damn sure has a problem with it when it's the person that she likes, like Michael Kaiser. No matter how much he's been proven to have lied to them or misled them or misguided them, like they still fucking support him. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But she said, well, Kimmy has a gay son, therefore that channel that you're referencing is making fun of her son. Well, okay, I'll take that in consideration. It could be. I know the Ted Wrangler account, and they make fun of Michael. That's who they make fun of. That's who that account makes fun of. So I think what she said was just a bullshit argument. But here's what I got to say about that. I have about 50 other screenshots and a video which proves 100% that the person that's speaking as Kimmy on YouTube is in fact Sandy. Like I literally have, where we did DoorDash, I have a video of Sandy saying this, and this, and then walking into the house. I don't have the video of the walking in the house, but she goes in the house apparently and starts texting as Kimmy and says this, and this, the things that she just said. She said she was Kimmy, but it was Sandy. It's fucking Sandy. That is not Kimmy. It is Sandy. So if you consider that, and then the fact that none of the law enforcement agencies that did the welfare check on Kimmy legit confirmed by seeing Kimmy for themselves, it just backs that even more. Sandy is Michael Kaiser's mom that he lived with and slept with in the same bed. Which turns out, looks like when after running a couple background checks on Kaiser, he's got a real mom that's not Sandy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm kind of over the Kaiser thing. Like, yeah, I wish Kimmy well. Hope Hope she's not dead or whatever. But now that Kaiser's gone, like, I don't give a fuck about none of them. You know what I mean? I'm done. I did my job. This is where he belongs. He's going to be there. And Chris Ruff's next. You think I won't? You think I won't make sure that happens? Of course I will. I'm going to protect me and mine's. Yeah, so I think it's Aunt Sandy. But yeah, I still think people should continue to look for Kimmy. Like, make sure she is alive. Because Sandy is using that account. That's her pretending. It's weird. Like, you don't just pretend to be another woman. Especially when your son's been indicted for murder. You don't just pretend to be his girlfriend. It's fucking weird. It's obviously sketchy. Look sketch. All right, I got a surprise for you. Who wants a surprise? We've been focusing and talking about just like what's going on with the YouTube stuff so much lately that other things have been happening that we have not spoken of. That we haven't even spoken of. One in chat if you want to talk about the marijuana cigarette case in Hardin County at all. Remember that? The Hardin County case where they arrested me at the state police post for trying to make a complaint on one of their officers for beating a kid with a flashlight with 3 of his thug buddies. And then they come out and say, I got a warrant, 27 years old, 26-year-old warrant. Didn't have my name spelled right. All the information that they got off my license plate, my vehicle, which they shouldn't have had any business looking at. You all remember that? You remember how the prosecutor was actually hooking up with YouTubers to try to screw my case up, giving them evidence in the case? That's called malicious prosecution. And he continued to put pressure on when we all but proved the case to him. He's getting sued. There you go, there's your update. He's getting sued. That was a surprise for me even. Like, I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure what we were going to do. But yeah, we're taking legal action. What y'all think of that? Does that make you happy? Hold them accountable, right? It'll be very professionally done. We're going to be on our utmost respect for the whole thing. We're just going to use the legal system as it's supposed to be functioned. We're not going to raise Cain. We're just going to, I mean, our lawyers, God, they're great, you know. And now I'm talking about the ones that won our raid lawsuit. They're just great attorneys. They're the kind of people that are not argumentative whatsoever for attorneys. They don't argue. They just, you know, like the word argue is a respectable, proper, professional presentation with them. Like if someone cocky like Scarborough's attorney in that video y'all watched at the ethics hearing, if a guy like that came at our lawyers would be making them look, they would be making themselves look really, really, really stupid. Because our lawyers would handle it like, excuse me, let me shift my tie. What, pardon me? And then they would come back and just hammer them. That's how our lawyers are. And that's those lawyers. Still got Tom Clay. Tom's going to mop the floor with Meade County. So my attorney today was like, how do you do it? Like, he almost made me blush because it was like I don't know how to explain it. Like, they're intrigued by what Tiffany and I do, by what all we've exposed and uncovered and got the facts of, and got whistleblowers to back and prove, and like, not many people do it. Not many people can keep up with it, and certainly not a lot of people share it with the world when they do it. So like, I get his perspective, but again, you know, I'm kind of too humble to, like, I didn't know how to take it. But it was like, you and Tiffany have a way, it's like you're magnets for the corrupt authorities to show themselves. It's almost like they just bring themselves to you to be rooted out. I have to agree with that. It's weird. And look, y'all, it's not like we're out there, like it ain't, I'm not going to say it's not intentional. It's just not, we're not like, I guess I need to accept that we put the effort and work in and do the right things to make that happen. And we've learned a lot. But, on the same hand, it's not like we want to invite damages to our lives either. You know what I'm saying? So we don't necessarily like push really hard to promote that to happen. But it does. The way I see it is these corrupt officials, they just can't help themselves. They come left at anyone that might expose them. You know what I mean? I finally have something really good I can say about Long Island Audit. I watched one of his recent videos. He got hit with like $75,000 in fines. Y'all see this? Got hit with like $75,000 in city ordinance fines on his properties. One of them ain't even his property. Why? We all know the answer why. Because he's got a successful YouTube channel, and whether or not he's been right about things that he's exposed, or if it's been deep enough to prove that they've been violating law for corruption or whatever, he got close enough under their skin to where they thought, oh shit, we got to bury this guy with the legal system. We got to abuse the legal system to bury this guy. So now he's always experienced it. Otherwise he wouldn't be a successful YouTube channel doing this stuff. But he's really deep in it right now. $75,000 in ordinance fines. Yeah, that's obviously retaliation, right? For what? I mean, they ain't going around looking for every little nook and cranny wrong with every single property in the whole damn county. That ain't how it works. They're looking at his. What about the DUI guy? He took his lickings. We spanked him. Who was that asked? East Coast, yeah, we spanked him, man. He tucked tail and ran away like a little bitch. Hit him with a bar complaint. He tried to take on Tiffany's ex-husband's case and realized when he got the documentations that he was completely backwards and wrong. And then he filed that way. He filed it saying that his client had been lying to him and trying to commit crime through him. So it's on record and we have that. And then he dipped. Didn't say a fucking word about nothing after that. Not a word. So he's handled. DUI guy, we mopped the floor with him. And if he disagrees, he's welcome to panel with me. Yeah, and he worked with that prosecutor. He might get brought back. You know what? Come to think of it, he might get brought back out of the woodwork now that the Hardin County lawsuit's being filed. Because he did. He worked with the prosecutor illegally. And YouTubed my open case. Yeah, that could come back on him in that case. It could, in the civil rights case. So maybe we're not done with the DUI guy yet. But he's welcome to panel with me. Anytime. Come up and apologize. I'll accept an apology. What do y'all think of that? Want to chat if you think DUI guy should come on panel and apologize. Since he's all but done that. We have mopped the floor with that dude. He's too much of a narcissist to tell his audience that. He should. Teresa says, wasn't his name Moore? The prosecutor's name was Moore. Good memory, Teresa. He still is the prosecutor there. One of them in Hardin. The judge was great in that case. By the way, Shaw. And I know Shaw's got a history of some other cases that, she's received a lot of flack for. I don't know about those cases. I haven't looked into them. I will just worry about mine. But as a judge in my case, she was not bad. And then I think a lot of the confusion and mayhem that was allowed to continue for all that time. I mean, it was obviously, put a one in chat if y'all agree, it was the prosecutor's that was doing it. It was a prosecutor that was causing it. He was malicious. He did not want to lose when he knew that he had a fake case. They kept calling you Benmore. Who, me? They were calling me Benmore or him? Oh, that ain't me, Teresa. I think they were thinking somebody on YouTube's name was Benmore. No, but it's odd you said that because the prosecutor in Hardin County, I believe his name is Moore. Yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? I just brain farted. Sorry. I forget. So, well, that's what they said, Justin. I mean, again, you know, not that I care that it's, you know, an item, a hot topic for everybody to get involved in all the drama. But for me personally, like as far as responding in chats and stuff to the drama, I'm going to bow. I'm going to bow on it and tip my hat to you for doing it. Stay with it, man. You know, these people need to be called out on a social platform like rough. Oh my God. I mean, I don't understand why his chats are not filled with people going, you are a piece of shit lying snitch who is intended to do nothing but damage people while hiding behind a man's address that has a family. You know what I'm saying? Like shame. He deserves that public shaming. I'm just going, because I'm litigating, I'm going to bow out of shaming like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to, you know, let it roll everywhere. And I'm behind you. I agree with you. But I'm just not going to participate myself. I'm not going to give any excuses to any of these people to paint me in the wrong light. Does that make sense? But it's wild. We got a lot of litigation going on. Was on illegal case. Taurus girl, can you rephrase that for me? The prosecutor was on illegal. I think you might have got one of your words jumbled up there. So that lawsuit, I would assume, like I'm not the lawyer, my lawyer's the lawyer. I would assume it's going to be a malicious prosecution lawsuit. All I know is, you know, my attorneys want it. And, yeah, it needs to be done. They should all be on the news East Coast. You know, they are, okay? Like JJ's been on the news like 3 times in the past, I don't know, 6 months. They're just short little clips and they're not like what they need. Here's what I think. I think the local investigative journalists for the news channels really should be covering these counties. And I'll tell you why they're not. I know this. I have friends that are investigative journalists for mainstream. Good people too. And they're like us, you know, they care. They want to do things. They're working for a big corporation, and the corporation has interests and rules and policies and things in a very tight legal staff. So like with Meade County, the population of Meade County is like, it's isolated and it's small and it's not. So like you're talking about the same channels that cover Louisville, Kentucky. And as you all do see all over the news, there's so much going on in Louisville that we need those journalists doing what they're doing, right? Like we got, you know, DOJ's in there doing consent decrees with the LMPD. LMPD's arguing and getting mad because, you know, things have been happening and with the civil boards that are designed to oversee them are putting out stuff that they don't agree with and they're fighting about it. And like there's so much shit going on. They're switching chiefs left and right. The mayor keeps getting caught lying in conflict of interest. There's so much shit going on in that big city that the investigative journalists are doing all they can, you know what I'm saying, to stay with it. So then when this little isolated, I don't even know, does anybody know how many, what the population of Meade County, Kentucky is? Is it Brandenburg? Can someone look that up real quick? When that isolated little area has something going on, even though the thing that's going on is maybe a bigger problem than what the mayor of Louisville is doing, maybe, right? It still doesn't really benefit the mainstream news to stop what they're doing and go out there, travel 30 or 40 minutes, do all this digging in records, getting fought on records, having to use their legal team to get the record, all this stuff that's going to happen. It's hard for them. You know what I'm saying? But here's what I think. I think the story needs to be, oh shit, Wingspan says it. Are you talking about KS? Oh, maybe you weren't talking about that. So KSP, Kentucky State Police, Post 4. You know, look at the history between Brandenburg and Kentucky State Police, Post 4. And then you could take my facts that I have recorded with the lieutenant of Kentucky State Police, Post 4, specifically covering for JJ and refusing to respond to threats at the courthouses in the real moment. And look, I shouldn't have laughed, because that brings me to an incident that occurred right underneath their nose, as close as you can get to Post 4, Kentucky State Police. There was a double homicide at the courthouse. Dude had a gun. Dude was mad about the outcome of the case. And where's the security? Well, they're covering the judges real well. They're in there watching the clerk's office. And look, I'm friends with a lot of the staff on Hardin County Sheriff's Department at this point. Good people. But if they're designed, if their job, if they're tasked to be inside the courthouse, not the parking lot, but KSP's across the fucking street. Shit happened right underneath their noses. And it was only within a week of a report of people being in their parking lot with guns. What do y'all think about that? Like, put a 1 if you think that makes them derelicts. Put a 1 if you think that makes them derelict. That a week prior, they got fucking reports saying, you have an issue with motherfuckers showing up to your parking lots with guns, trying to intimidate people that are going into court. And then a week later, there's a double homicide. Yeah. You agree? Tiffany's texting me. She don't know I'm live. I think she needs to hit her notification bell. What do you all think for this channel? Oh, yeah, she's texting me. She don't know. Here, hang on a second, guys. Let me text her real quick. Yeah, think about that. And if someone can get me the population for Brandenburg real quick, I'll be right back. Oops. I didn't mean to sign all the way out. I'm back, right? Am I back? Did you? Thank you, Stephanie. I did too. No way, Taurus Girl. Is that all there is? 2,944 people? You see what I'm saying? That sounds low, though. Are you sure? Really? Confirmed. 2,940. Like in most places, that's not even enough to vote. They don't even need a government. They don't even need a government. 2,944 people. That's nothing. So they have a really... What about the county? Can you look up the county? Yeah, confirmed. 2,944 people. You see how small and isolated that is? They got their own government. They got JJ and Wimpy and a felon for their clerk. It's not even legal. You can't elect a felon to be the clerk of Kentucky. You can't do it. A person that was convicted of a felony of robbing or stealing from a bank. She might be a great lady. I don't know her. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck? So the whole county's only 3,911 people. They don't need it. Do y'all think they need a government? Shit, man. 4,000's like the lowest number for some small areas around where I live to even... I know I live close to Meade, but on my side of the bridge, things are different. Like, we have real populations. Like, you have to have, is it 30,000, Cliff? Thank you for that dono yesterday, Cliff, by the way. Is it 30,000? Wait. Okay, 30,000 for Meade. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so Meade has 30,000. Was it 900 and some? Let's just round it to 30,000. So yeah, okay. So if they could get 4,000 people to vote, which I think probably would be around their minimum, my audio's going in and out. Am I? Shit, I don't know what to do about that. Sorry about that. If it's real bad, let me know and I'll restart the stream or something. But, oh look, there's 70 people in here and only 44 likes. Can y'all help me out with that? Let's see if we can get that up to the same number of people that's in here. It's good now? Sorry, must have had a glitch in the service. As some people would say, I'm on an Obama phone, which is not true. I wish. I gotta pay full price for this bitch. Yeah, so smallest county in North Carolina, Freeman Press is saying is 35,000 population. You know, and the thing is, 30,000 is a more reasonable number. I guess Brandenburg, which is their city, really low number of population of people. And what's wild is per capita, they have like the most murders. Really high number of murders and crime in the state. So in other words, the sheriff's department is doing a fucking horrible job. Have y'all heard about these two lawsuits that got filed by what was a couple, Clemens and help me out, Freeman. What's the girl's name? They accused him of killing her kid. Accused them. These people were accused of killing her kid. Now, y'all probably know this, but Wimpy's kid was killed. The sheriff, the now sheriff, campaigned on his son being killed. And he would not have gotten sheriff if it weren't for him campaigning on his own son's murder. Pisses me off, especially since he was abusive to his wife. And that's why they split. You know, like that was probably who they expected to have done damage to him. And then, what's the girl's name? I know Clemens, Freeman Press. What was the girl? What was her name? At least first name. But they filed a lawsuit. Is it public? Maybe it's not public. I think it is. I think she's done interviews and stuff with her real name. I don't think they blurred her or nothing. Anyway, so there was a couple who lost their sons. Tragic. Apparently there's lawsuits filed on it. And in the lawsuit, it clearly says that I guess the mom was hours away for school at the time. And now remember, Wimpy's got a chip on his shoulder because, you know, he campaigned on being the sheriff that would be there for kids getting harmed, right? That was his campaign, right? And so he's got to stand behind that, right? Like he's got to put on that persona. The sheriff of Meade County, JJ's buddy, okay? So there's this couple, the mom was like way far away at school, and then her boyfriend at the time was at home with her kid. I think it was 5-year-old. And tragedy. The kid ends up getting killed, blunt force trauma. Oh, and so in the lawsuit, there's argument in there saying that the sheriff's department were huge at fault for a malicious case against this couple. And it's two separate reasons, two different lawsuits. I'll start with the guy. The guy's like, I called you here because the kid got in a motorcycle wreck. That's what he's saying in this lawsuit. The kid, blunt force trauma, motorcycle accident, like a dirt bike in the yard. I mean, maybe they could have got him for negligence or something like that if that's the case, because maybe he should have had a helmet on, should have been watching him better. I don't know. Like, and that's too touchy of a subject for me to dip into without feeling bad. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say what the lawsuit's saying. So in his lawsuit, he's clearly saying that, no, this is a wrongful conviction, you know. But that's not even why he's suing. What he's suing for, that just came out in his lawsuit. What he's suing for is being treated a certain way, a certain illegal as fuck way by JJ in the jail. And he's got facts that have been supported and corroborated by people that know for sure. In other words, I'm saying, I'll go ahead and say it. The shit he's saying about the treatment in the jail, what's happening in that jail, he is not lying. And it is illegal as fuck. And it's happening under JJ. Right? He will win that lawsuit on that. He will win that lawsuit. And it expanded a little bit a couple weeks ago because a new filing came in. An old filing, it pretty much had been like tabled because they were saying the guy wasn't filing it properly from jail. It's really hard to do a lawsuit out of jail, much less in jail. I'm sure it's a lot harder from there. But you're depending on, so when you turn in the forms and filings and stuff like that, you got to give it to the jail staff to submit to the clerk, right? You follow me? So you got to do that. If you're in the jail, you're submitting what you filled out, your claim, any forms that you got to do. You submit it to the jail staff. Jail staff submits it to the clerk. In his recent update on the lawsuit, he said, I did file everything. This is what he said. He said, I did file everything. I gave it to the jail staff, and then the clerk fucking didn't put it in to court. The clerk didn't file it. Ellen, same clerk's office that made the false report on me and Tiffany. He says, Daniel Clemens says, this bitch got my stuff and didn't even file it. Protecting JJ. He was suing JJ. Sounds legit to me. But it got filed now. Judge recognized it, accepted JJ being entered into the suit. JJ is being sued by Daniel Clemens. But more so, we got this girl suit, this woman's suit. Sorry, I didn't mean to call her a girl. She's a woman. We got this woman's suit who lost her son. Couldn't go through a more tragic situation. She loses her son to a tragedy. And this sheriff who claims he campaigned on being the guy that's heartfelt for these exact situations. He said, I lost a son too. I lost a kid too. I know how you feel. I'm going to be your sheriff that's going to handle situations like that, knowing what you're going through. Just elect me. Just elect me. I know what you're going through. I'll make sure that kind of shit don't happen here in this county no more. That was what he ran on. So the first situation that comes along, this girl's kid goes through this tragedy. First thing he does is charges her. She was hours away. He puts her in jail under JJ while her child's funeral is happening. Let her in there. The courts backed Wimpy, who didn't even have according to Clemens' suit, didn't even submit imperative evidence to the case. One in chat, if you think it is imperative evidence to the case to submit that the boy had been in a motorcycle wreck in the first place. Like, how in the fuck do you miss that? Now, I'm not saying that's a fact or not a fact. I'm saying the fact is that was evidence. That's a fact. That evidence was supposed to be submitted. That part's fact. I don't know if Clemens is telling the truth or not. I don't know that much. That's something court needs to figure out. But wow, on the detectives of the sheriff department. How dare you not submit all the facts? The fuck are you doing in Meade County, Kentucky at the sheriff's department? About as good as the fucking jail is running with no RN. No wonder people are dying. Your nurse is not even qualified to do anything. She can't even do a blood draw. She's doing them, but she can't. She's not certified to do a blood draw. Back to the sheriff's department. Like Riley. These motherfuckers are not qualified. They may have gone through the classes and the training, but they didn't learn shit because they ain't doing their fucking jobs right. It's corrupt as fuck. So, yeah, this poor woman who had just lost her son gets locked up and has like 6 fucking months or more. Does anybody know the time frame on it? I'll do a video. I'm working on it already, actually, but I haven't gone through all the facts yet. Does anybody know how long she was locked up? Can you look it up for me real quick, Freeman, if you don't already know? How long did she spend in jail? at Meade County, awaiting trial while her child went through the process of his funeral and more. Like she said in her interview, I'm going to do a video for you, you'll get to see it, but she said in her interview, she was like, I didn't even get to process my son's death. Like, the fucking sheriff's department had me locked up in jail. She was not there. She could not have committed a murder. It was literally physically impossible. But Wimpy's fucking dumbass put her in jail so she couldn't go to her kid's funeral. Does that sound like what he campaigned on? Does that sound like a person who understands? Ain't it bullshit, Angel? The real life effects that these dumb fucks acting in government have at Meade County on good people, it needs to be straightened out. And then ultimately the voters need to know they got 9 months she spent in jail. Thank you, Freeman. 9 fucking months. Right as her kid gets killed. And then you got Laura. Y'all remember Laura? Whose husband was neglected to death because Amber's not qualified. Kayla, that's it. Thank you, Stephanie. How about that? Dude's blood pressure was completely bottomed out to the level of immediately emergency room. 24 fucking hours later, he was gone. We're working on something on that one, by the way. JJ and his harlot are not going to get away with that one. The statute of limitations is told, but they're not going to get away with what they did to that man. It's like they're not going to get away with what they did to me and Tiffany. They're not going to get away with it. And we have the perfect legal team to ensure that don't happen. They don't get away with it. I'm losing my chat for some reason. It keeps kicking out. Right. Exactly, Teresa. You never get over the death of your child. And you certainly should not be locked up when there's no reason to lock her up. They said she was a murderer. They painted her all over the news as a murderer. And look, the other dude that's suing, the boyfriend, he might not. I mean, fucking motorcycle wreck happened, apparently. Like, possibly. Maybe he ain't a murderer either. Maybe the sheriff's department of Meade County, Kentucky can't get a fucking case right. Like, that's what I say every time they post somebody's mugshot on Facebook in Meade County. I'm like, y'all really trust what your sheriff's telling you here? Jesus Christ, he's got a fucking reputation of always being wrong. Like, it's hard telling if they've ever got a case right there. I'm so sorry, Teresa. I lost a brother when I was 9. I can only imagine what it'd be like as a parent. I just can't imagine the top of that. Being thrown in jail for murder when you were at school hours away. And they knew that. On top of your kid being gone. You know? Like, it's already fucking tragic to lose a kid. And then you top it with that? Like, what is the sheriff's department doing there? What are they doing there? And who's going to stop it? Who's going to stop it, you all? You tell me who's going to stop it. I know they have, Lenny. We're picking on them for that. It's hilarious. I like seeing them fight. I think let's since we're just having a little fun with this stream, let's vote here. I wish I could do polls. You can't do polls until you're monetized. I might never monetize this channel. Hell, they might strike this channel down tomorrow. I don't fucking know. After my experience, I don't trust nothing. Shit. If I disappear, y'all might find me on different platforms. But anyway, which I'm not violating TOS at all, by the way. I'm just saying I know how they are. Um, let's do a poll with ones and twos, since I know how much everybody loves ones and twos. I don't give a fuck if people hate it. Um, I like I like getting your collective thoughts. All right, so if Todd and Chris, I know I said I wouldn't get into drama, but I have to. I got to get into drama just a little bit. This is, hear me out. All right, Todd. Y'all know who Todd is, right? Y'all know who Chris is. Imagine if they really did have to fight. Like, for real. Like, if they really did have to fight. I think Chris would be the one dumb enough to actually get around Todd. And then I think Todd would immediately be calling police and shit. But since Chris is JJ's partner, right? I don't think the police are going to respond for Todd. So if Chris really did have balls, which he does not, Chris is the kind of guy that talks a bunch of shit and then runs. Like, did you all see the video that he published on DirectD where he was talking all that mad smack and just one cop was like, just shoulder racked him, and the dude, Chris Ruff, folded in half and ate his fucking sneaker. The dude's legs are that big. He's a tiny little mouth running wuss. Yeah, he hides. Some dude pulled up because he rear-ended the dude's wife's car. Pulled up out front, and he wasn't aggressive. All he was doing was getting pictures to say that was the car that rear-ended my car. But Chris got all feisty and locked his girlfriend outside, locked himself behind the security door, and then starts running his mouth. And you know what he said? I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the police on you. Get out of here. Leave us alone. What up, Clash of Bell? You know what I'm talking about. You seen it. Clash, did you see the one? Bow, did you see the one where Chris folded in half and ate his sneaker? He's such a pussy. He got folded in half with just the slightest little nudge. Just a little shoulder tap with boom. He goes whoop and ate his own shoe. Like it took nothing. That was nothing. So, and then Todd has talked about how he's 50-0 in street fights and all this shit and been on a battlefield and blah, blah, blah. Just like Chris talking about all the fights he was in prison. Look, we've seen Chris's prison record. He ain't been in one fight in there, right? He wasn't in no fights. He was the drug dealer. he was the drug dealer. That's what he did in there. He got caught doing what he was doing, but he wasn't fighting, so he don't know nothing about close quarter combat. It's all shit talking. Both of them shit talking. Neither of them gonna do nothing because they're both weak ass lying pussies who ain't never been in no scuffle. Chris has been closer though. Chris got folded by cops. I saw that one. All right. So take all that in consideration and let's do a vote. If they had to fight because cops won't come for Todd, Chris is there. They get on their feelings. Both of them are out of control in their feelings. They are both chicken shits and too scared. But let's say they did have to fight. Okay, we're going to vote on if they actually did it. Right? Who would win? 1 for Todd, 2 for Ruff. I got a 1. I'm going Todd on this one. I'm going with Todd. Stubby. I'm going with little homie. I don't think little homie's ever thrown a punch, nor do I think he'd be good at it. Matter of fact, he'd probably miss his target by a mile. But I think no matter where he hits Chris Ruff, even if he's aiming at his face and hits him in the arm, I think hitting Chris Ruff in the arm would collapse Chris Ruff. 0. Come on, 1 for Todd, 2 for Ruff. I know it's not a realistic thing. They're both too weak to fight each other. It's just an internet like relationship, boyfriend relationship gone wrong. They can't handle each other's feelings. But Jody says it'll be a slap fight. Even a slap fight. Who's the winner? 1 for Todd, 2 for Ruff. I ain't getting many votes. Justin says 3. Like y'all can't make your mind up. Wingspan says 1 because Todd is much fatter. Yeah, the weight matters. It does. Like, even if he misses his punch, if he just lands one, even if it's in the arm. I mean, I saw Ruff fold in half from getting shoulder tapped. He literally folded it completely in half. Like, I've never seen a human body contort all the way folded by the ass. Like, from his butt, he folded legs to face. Foot was past, like he ate his tennis shoe just from a shoulder tap. It's weak as fuck. Come on, let's get it. What about you, Bao? Come on, give us a vote, Bao. The prison storage thing, right? Is that why he folded? I know they won't fight Zazana, but I'm not giving you a 3 option or a 0 option. I'm saying this is fun. I am saying if it did happen, I know it won't. I know that both of them are too weak and they both call cops, but leave that out of this. This ain't real. What if it did happen? Who would win? Y'all are like having a hard time with this. Nobody wants to vote either one of them. Come on, you can do it. Vote. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. I'm going with Todd. I got my mind made up. I think little homie. I think he'll like swing like way out here or something. You know what I mean? Like out of desperation, because he'll be scared Chris will actually throw a punch when Chris wouldn't have anyway. And I think little homie will like maybe hit him like in the boobie or something. I think maybe he'd hit him in the boobie. And I think that one hit from Todd in the boobie on Chris Ruff. And we're only talking about Chris Ruff here. I mean, the beanpole, like his legs are that big, really. It looks like he's walking on broomsticks with joints. All right. I think a hit in the titty from Todd's fat ass, from little homie's fat ass, I think a hit in the titty would fold Ruff. But we got a 2. VA says 2 just because of age. Yeah, Chris is 34. Todd is 50. No, you know, let me throw a little lash at that one, VA. I'm almost 50. I'm 47 or 48, something like that. And I'm way slower than I used to be. But I got plenty of power behind my punch. I think I'll still have that power behind the punch in a few years. You know what I'm saying? So granted, a 35-year-old in good shape could probably, you know, give me a hell of a run for my money for sure, because they'd be a lot faster. But you land that power punch, man, because I'm 6'1", 6'2", like 250. And, you know, I got some power behind the punch. I think that a 50-some-year-old man still has plenty of opportunity to win a fight. You know what I mean? Even against a younger person, especially when the younger person is Chris Ruff. He's like, you got to think about who we're talking about here. Chris Ruff. Todd's really little. He's really little, but he's broad. You know what I mean? Little homie's broad. I know, VA. Yeah, we're not talking about little homie. I know. He's thick. I mean, granted, there's no muscle on it, but it's thick. Like he's short and stumpy. I don't know. I just think he'll take one of them windmills. You know what I mean? I think he'll throw some kind of weird windmill, and I think he'll hit Chris in the titty, and I think Chris will fold. I think it'll break his ribs. I think Chris will be like, "Oh, you hurt me! God, call the cops!" What do you think, Bao? Come on, get in on this. Get in on this, Bao. What's going to happen? Look, I don't have any money right now because the YouTube channel thing, but I'll front out of my lawsuit winnings $1,000 if the 2 of them will cage match, just so we can see it. They have to fight though. Like, that's my rule. They got it. Like, for my money, would you all donate anything if they cage match? Like legit cage match? You didn't get a notification, Nikki? Ain't that some shit? We're having fun in here. We're voting 1 for Todd to win the fight between him and Chris Ruff. 2 for Ruff. What do you think, Nikki? You in on this? Most people won't vote. They just, like all their votes are like 0 and 3. They're like, it ain't gonna happen, bro. I know it ain't gonna happen. I'm just saying if it did. Who's the bigger? Okay, so which one is too scared more than the other? 1 for Todd being too scared to fight Chris, 2 for Chris being too scared to fight Todd. Let's do that, since you all know they won't fight. 1 for Todd being too chicken shit, 2 for Chris being too chicken shit. What do y'all think? Brick can be Todd's water boy? Hell yeah, like his corner man. Like rub his shoulders and wipe his face off and stuff. So Todd's the most scared, y'all think? He'll call the cops. Todd will call the cops. Both of them. The only reason Chris wouldn't call the cops, and he still might, is because of his warrants. That's the only reason. And he'll bring JJ. You know what I'm saying? To try to, like, where you don't have to identify or whatever when the cops come. They ain't gonna fight because, see, we got some two. I think, again, I'm going against Chris. Look, I don't like Todd, and I know Todd's a liar and a puss and full of shit, right? You see, Bill's going, Todd's the most scared, absolutely. I know, I got to go against you on it, Bill. Again, it's Ruff. Ruff is the weaker. Ruff is weak as shit. He's so weak. Like, y'all don't even know. Yeah, Ruff won't even leave the she shed, right, Teresa? He won't even leave the she. He ain't fighting nobody for nothing, ever. If his kids were in danger, he would not fight. He's just going, look, that's why he does the bald head and the neck tattoo and everything to look like a skinhead. Because he thinks that he can intimidate people with a look. But his legs are that big. He is so skin and bones. He is intimidating no one. And he's got no way of being intimidating. And he wants to so bad. That's why he screams into the camera void on YouTube. Ruff won't fight without his crossbow. I could see him using a weapon. Yes, Todd does talk a hell of a game and no idea how to play it. You're absolutely right, Bill. Todd is a shit-talking liar. So's Chris, though. They're actually a really good couple if you like domestic battery. Could you imagine the two of them if they would just admit they were gay and like hooked up and lived together? The cops would be called like every 5 minutes. He'd be like, you do the dishes. They'd be fighting all the time. And then we would have to just see that if they do just do that, if they would come out of the closet and just move in together like they should, you know, Todd's wife can stick around. I mean, she's well aware that her husband's gay. So like, they could just, like, Chris and Todd could live in the basement together, and I don't know if he's got like a little kitchenette and a bathroom down there or whatever, but, and then, you know, Brandy upstairs, when she hears them, you know, fighting and stuff, she could let us know who's winning so that we would know if our ones or twos were right, and then she could go ahead and call the cops, right? Granted, they'd both, you know, go back and forth. Like, Chris would always have warrants, you know. Chris would always have. I'm sure they're watching. They can let us know how they feel about all this. They're more than welcome to come in and tell us how they feel. I may have blocked them. I'm not sure if I had or not. Like I said, I'm trying. I don't even know how to unblock them right this minute. I'm sure they'll respond on their channels. Like, Chris will jump out and like do a 4-hour long all night live stream high on meth, calling me a pedo or something. I stay up and do panels too sometimes, like when I ain't got to work next day. And look, I don't have no problem. Look, we got 60 likes and 60 people in here. Thank you all very much for that. But like, I ain't got no problem with criminals. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're not like I don't care if people like say do drugs or, I mean, okay, so obviously I care about people getting hurt or damaged. That's what I care about. It ain't the crime that bothers me so much. It's the effect that it has on the innocent party. That's what bothers me. So like, I do not support crime at all, but I also don't think about the crime. Like, I have had felons that have worked for me. I have been best friends with people who have criminal histories. I have 2 misdemeanors on my record. That don't bother me. It's if people don't try to not hurt people, right? That's the thing that I stand against. Like, obviously Ruff and Todd, they don't care. They want to hurt people, right? I don't like them. I don't like them because that's what they do. No videos, just a wannabe skinhead sitting by himself, getting high and crying into a bong. Yeah, little muff, that's content. Exactly, Seven. Exactly. He's so bad at having content that Direct D channel is doing nothing, right? While for public safety 1, the intellectual property theft, that one is tanking. Ain't nobody going. Look, they fell for it once and you got a view or 2. He got monetized. Him and JJ got monetized. But that was because they were tricking people into thinking it was me, right? Y'all agree? One in chat if you think that's how they even got monetized, was tricking people into thinking it was one of my secondary channels. Is that what y'all think happened at all? Because now they're only getting like 500 views and shit. And don't, I am saying, watch what you want. But if you give them the views they're looking for, I can assure you that they will believe in their hearts that they are doing, that they're winning. Ultimately, it's going to be my money. So like if there are ads on those videos and I sue, I'm the one that's eventually going to get paid for those ads. But we can just wait until they're gone, right? Like till they've been sued, and I officially own the channel, and I changed that garbage graphic crap and take down the boring videos and put real content on it. But for what they have earned, it's going to go in my pocket. And listen, Chris Ruff, I'm not just taking what you made off of that intellectual property theft channel. I'm taking everything that you ever made in your life. I'm taking everything from your girlfriend's pocket, all the money that's supposed to go to food to feed your kids. I'm taking everything you've ever earned from the landscape company, from your mommy and your grandma that gave you money. I'm taking all that. I'm taking all the money you made from Direct D, from your little history channels, all the money you made from Chris Ruff. I'm taking all the money that any of those channels could make in the future. I'm taking it all. And then I'm going to offer to adopt your children and put them in a good home. I'm taking your kids. You went into Chris Russ for public safety 1, is what that is, Wacko. For public safety 1. And everybody just kept asking where I was, where I was going, what was going on. That's right. They were tricked. Yep. Tricked. And that is the law. Like that's how intellectual property theft, I mean, that's the basis of those suits. So, yeah, I mean, he's sitting there bragging about how he got monetized so quick. It's just because he was riding on my coattail. Maybe that's their obsession with me. Maybe they think, oh God, I don't know how to be successful. Which, I mean, Direct D channel, that could have gotten its success because of his connections at the time. David. I mean, put a 1 in chat if you think that David, San Joaquin Valley, is the only reason that Chris ever boosted in the first place. He has bow keychains too. Put a 1 in chat if you think that because he was hanging with San Joaquin throughout his entire creation of Direct D, that's how. 2 if you don't think so. You never been on the fake FPS? Hard to say. Good job, Justin. Well done. Yeah, I think so too. I think that because people trust David, San Joaquin Valley Transparency, I think because people trust him, and then Ruff tricked David into thinking that he was a decent person, I think that led the audience to be tricked into thinking that Ruff was a decent person. Y'all want to know what I learned about Ruff's channel, Direct D? It's wild. I thought he was like going anywhere and everywhere with the government and doing that stuff, right? I didn't watch, but I've seen it. And I, just like any other 1A auditor channel. I mean, you know, it was like, okay, cool. But seeing it, and I always saw like him engaging with different government actors and stuff, and I thought it was like normal. I thought he was like an activist that was out there doing that stuff. I didn't agree with the way he acted and the words that would come out of his little mouth and stuff like that. But I didn't dislike him either. I didn't care, right? I was just like, well, normal auditor, right? Kind of a fool out of the group, you know, didn't understand law very well and instigator for sure and shit like that. But I didn't have like a hard way to go about feeling towards him. Didn't care. But I later learned this is what happened. So once I got his actual whole lifelong record, his records, criminal records, that's when it dawned on me. Holy shit. The name tags, the officer badge numbers, the agencies. He was retaliating for getting arrested. That's what you were watching on the Direct D channel. You thought you were watching just some activists like hit up different government officials and seeing if there was corruption. No. He was mad because he got arrested for kidnapping a kid for $1,000. So he was taking it out on them. He got out of prison and he was like, fuck these guys, you know? So that's why it's always Maricopa County. That's why it's always the judicial system that was involved in his case. And then along the way, like he'd get a speeding ticket or license plate light out or whatever, and he would retaliate on that one. So it created this like downward spiral, or like it ended up being a lot of content, a lot of interactions. But that's all it was ever, was him retaliating for the crimes that he did commit and got caught for. That's not what we're supposed to be about in the 1A community. It's not what it's supposed to be about. You're not supposed to be getting retaliation. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be out there finding corruption, finding real issues. Yeah, he's an instigator, it's all he is. And that's why he was posting cops' addresses and pictures of their houses and stuff. Those were ones that were personal to his case. Did you know that? Put a one in chat if you knew that. I know that. I know that. I can prove it. I'm going to do it in court. Not a good guy, Ruff. Never an activist. And now you're going to pay. It just took a few years to catch up. Jumping on the bumpers of cars, right? Acting like a fool. Acting like the childish little bitch that he is. It's caught up to him. It's catching. He picked the wrong one. I got lawyers. I don't lie about taking legal action. I do know how to collect the facts and the evidence. I do have people to give that to move forward and have progress in these cases. That's what I do. He picked the wrong fucking one. Maybe Todd should have told him, right? Maybe Todd should have told him, nah, bro, I've been lying. Todd, this is what Todd should have said. Nah, bro, I've been lying about Chris. Been lying about Chris and Tiffany. They just pissed me off because they didn't want to be my friend. But for real, they uncovered corruption and they got lawyers and they're for real. That's what he should have done. Put a one in chat if you think Todd should have done that on the phone behind the scenes with Chris. Save his ass. Like dude really did everything he said on his channel. This shit was real. Todd should have said that, right? Think he would have listened? Think Ruff would have listened? Or you think Ruff's little ego is just too much? That's what I think. You've always had people who do things to make positive change, and those are bad, and then those that are bad and use it for nefarious purposes. Absolutely. We've had so many amazing people like behind us, not just support for our channel and stuff, but like people that got their own energy and their own thing going on in their own support system that we've merged with and worked with. I mean, like when I tell you all that it was a collective effort to bust Jamie Knoll and his group, it was a collective effort. I mean, I could give shout outs of names and I'd show you what they did, and it's spot on. Matter of fact, I'll republish that video. picking on me for smoking. Oh, you too? You smoking a cigarette too? I really only smoke like this while I'm live streaming. Otherwise, I got like habitual points, like in a day, like when I start my car and I'm letting it warm up, I'll smoke a cigarette because I don't smoke in the house. I do smoke in my car. And then like dinner, you know what I'm saying? Like after dinner, have a cigarette after eating or whatever. But most of the time, I'm only like, I don't know, less than a half a pack a day, if even sometimes like 4 or 5 cigarettes in a whole day. But when I do a live stream, I'll smoke 5 damn cigarettes while I'm on the live stream. I don't know why I do that. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run this thing however long I want to. We got 66 awesome people in here, 63 likes. So who are the 3 haters? We've been doing awesome. This is fun. I miss having this stuff going on. I miss chilling out and hanging with you all. I've been working too much. And it's, it's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Disappointing to not have my 70,000 sub channel. Like I knew I'd miss it if it would went away, but I mean, it took a toll on me, I guess it'll be worth however much money I get out of the lawsuit from it. But I mean, but there was a lot of negativity that I wanted to shake off too. And I have. So, and I learned a lesson. I don't know, man, 1080 for Marlboro. Indiana is $10 a pack. I'm in Kentucky right now. And on the door it says $3 off 2 packs. And then $1 off of the type of cigarettes I smoke. So $5 off 2 packs. It brings them down to like $6. $6 a pack, I think, something like that. Still crazy. And I'm right by Kentucky, like stone's throw. I can get in the car and drive from my driveway and be in Kentucky 2 different directions within 10 minutes. Like there's 2 different directions I could go to Kentucky. One way goes into Louisville, the other way goes into Meade County. You can bet that I don't go there very often to Meade County. I go to Louisville all the time. Stephen just tuned in. We're suing. I left the lawyer's office a little while ago, and we're taking legal action, litigation on the theft of the intellectual property known as for public safety. Taking legal action on that. So, I mean, a couple of people and more will be named, but Christopher Ruff, for sure. I'm taking everything he's ever had, including his, like, anything. I even said I'll adopt his kids and put them in a decent home. So I'm taking his kids, and every penny he's ever made. And then same thing for Scarborough. I'm taking everything he's ever made. And he's got a couple of businesses in Amber. I'm taking all the money from their LLCs, taking all the money they would have ever made, everything they've ever had, taking it all. We're suing for all that. And that's just on the intellectual property. And I also gave everybody a big update, Stephen. Apparently my lawyers would like to take on the malicious prosecution case in Hardin County. The marijuana cigarette case, you remember that? That was a big deal on the internet, wasn't it? So lots of lawsuit going on. It's been a very productive week for us. I'm suing everybody. Not really. It's a lot too. Like we're putting a lot on their plates. Chris, just imagine what they have put y'all through and the money we lost just from YouTube alone. Yeah, we've lost a lot of money. And it ain't just what we lost. I mean, we get to take them for everything they would ever earn from a reasonable person's perspective. That's how it works. So, what did Bao say? I missed it. My chat keeps going in and out. You know how it disappears while you're talking? Keeps going in and out and I miss comments. Said something about the murder case of my son that happened in Meade County. This link was sent to me. Steve Irwin, are you the one? Oh my gosh, dude, we need to talk. Yeah, I was reading the lawsuit. If you're family to that, reach out to me, 04publicsafety@gmail. Actually, all I was covering was just some of the lawsuit. I think what happened in that is outrageous. Outrageous. and what they did to the mother, putting her in jail for 9 months. Like, it's everything exactly opposite of what that stupid sheriff promised he would do. He campaigned on the death of his own son. Like, he campaigned on that. And then he turns around and hurts other people. Yeah, if you're in that family, I would really like to talk to you. That's kind of what I'm known for on YouTube. It used to be. Yeah, I like to help families that are going through that stuff and gathering facts if I can help in any way. Everyone has their own opinions. What's your take on it? Are you really family to them? We get a lot of trolls, bro, so if you really are, I'm sorry for questioning you. I don't know if you even know. Do you know what trolls are? They're people that pretend to be somebody else and they're just trying to stir the chat up with bullshit. We get a lot of them, so I'm always cautious to not believe everything I read while I'm in chats. But man, I mean, you know, like, I'm looking at what's happening in Meade County, and like, I don't care if you really were family or not, even if you're a troll, you have to say that's some wrongful arrest shit. That's some damage that's being done to families, and it's unnecessary. It needs to be stopped. So I don't know how anybody could disagree with that. I mean, I'm sure that we got a lot of people. We have 60 people in this chat right now. Y'all, if you agree that it needs to be stopped, wrongful arrests like that to people who are going through something like that, put a one in chat. You're the father of who, Stephen? We're very sorry for what your family's been through. But we know what the Meade County government does. And they have a really bad track record of damaging people who are already hurt. We stand against that here. My family's one of them. Nothing like what you've been through. You probably saw how there was a big fuss about 2 people getting arrested in the clerk's office trying to get just doing a record request. Freaking sheriff's deputy, the chief deputy, Ray Whiting, comes in, beat the shit out of my girlfriend, stuck a stun gun to her chest, tried to stun her in her heart, and then stuck it to my neck, pushed her into a glass wall, and then down the hallways, ramming her into the corners. She was bruised from head to toe. Nothing like what your family's been through. But I'm just saying, like, this shit is uncalled for. The behavior of the government of Meade County, uncalled for. I will not stand for it. Neither will anybody here on this channel. So if you agree that it needs to be stopped, you're in the right place, brother. And we love you, and we're very sorry for what you're going through. The 5-year-old, yeah, I didn't want to talk a whole lot on that because I don't know. I just was talking about what's in the lawsuits. And again, our hearts go out to you. We don't know what's going on. We know what's in the lawsuits. And we're careful to say this is what's being said in a lawsuit. We don't know if that's fact until it goes through court, stuff like that. What we were talking about here before you come in on that was, we were saying that it's so fucked up that the mother was hours away and then charged with murder. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, that ain't right, man. She couldn't even go to her own son's funeral. So is that your wife, ex-wife, something like that? I don't want to get personal, I'm sorry. Like I said, you can email me and then let me know what you're comfortable with being out there and what you're not. I know that she's been doing some public information releases with the mainstream. We cover that kind of stuff here because we like to follow these cases and find out, is the government wrong? I mean, we hold criminals accountable too, as much as we can. I mean, we don't have the official capacity to do anything, but we do try here, to stay on the right moral grounds. So to find out the truth is brought out. Yeah, I'll bet. Stephen, yes. And if you, he said sometimes the truth don't come out. He said lawsuits are fine if the truth is brought out, but there are things that aren't being said. And listen, when there's litigation, there's things that shouldn't be said during litigation. Attorneys are right when they say that. Not every time, but they're right when they say that. Be careful what is said. It's not our business right now what goes through litigation. It's like the only thing it is our business is the aspects that have already gone and taken place. Like the wrongful arrest, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff that's out there. That's part that we the people can partake in that, in our thoughts and opinions on that. However, there are aspects to the case that we don't claim to understand. We don't know, and we don't try to publicize your incident either. But we're very curious as to what those facts are going to be when they come out, because at that point, we feel like it's our civic duty to interject, to support you, to support what's right, to support the moral aspect of this, whichever side's right. We feel like that is our position, is to ensure that the government processes are going correctly, because we know here for a fact, like I said, that in Meade County, Kentucky, the government processes do not go correctly. Matter of fact, I'd like to talk to you because my fear is that you won't get fair courts in Meade County. That's my fear, that you won't get fair courts. Therefore, what truth is going to come out? If the lies come out of courts, the truth don't get to come out. Then you're stuck with no relief. Oh, Daniel's case? Stephen, okay, so you are saying that you are the child's father. Is Stephen like the, would he have been, or I'm sorry, is Daniel like boyfriend after you had a son with the mother? Is that what's going on? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand the logistics. And again, just tell me to shut up if you don't want to talk about it. Like, you get your privacy, bro. You get your privacy. I thought about reaching out, but I wanted to let you all have your space. I mean, what I got to offer you is petty compared to what you're going through. Okay, so Daniel's mom's boyfriend. I got you. Okay. Yeah, again, like I said, right now, we weren't even talking about that anymore. What we were talking about is what I just told you, the aspects that were in the lawsuit and stuff. And our question here at this channel, we question the relevance and the honesty that you're going to get from the Meade County government, particularly the sheriff's department and the jail. We know for a fact here on this channel that JJ Scarborough, the jailer, can't trust a thing he said. Did you know he's all over YouTube, bro? Stephen, did you know the jailer from Meade County is on YouTube with murderers and dudes with like 7 years in prison for robbing and kidnapping a kid? The jailer from Meade County, Kentucky is here on YouTube daily, hours at a time, like never running the jail. He's always on his partnerships and doing damage to people. Did you know he's doing that? Yeah. And then Wimpy, he does things like from behind the scenes. The sheriff, he's just as dirty. Him and JJ are like, you know what I'm saying? And then they do favors for each other. So JJ has been like all here, up in here in our business on YouTube, and he's using the power of the sheriff's department to like press false charges on YouTubers and shit. Like, it's been nuts, man. It has been nuts. Meanwhile, their duties are being neglected. You know what I'm saying? The sheriff's office's duties are being neglected. They're not doing a good job. And then the jail, like, they don't even have a nurse with the certification. I mean, they have one on record that comes in and signs off, but like the treatment inside the jail is bad as anybody would ever dream. It's bad. They got we've learned a lot of shit. They've got the inmates scraping mold off of the blocks in there without any hazmat or anything. They're feeding loaf. You know what loaf is? They're feeding loaf to people because they have like mental disorders. They're punishing people with mental issues by putting them in the hole and leaving them in the hole by themselves, which maybe they do need to separate, but they're feeding them loaf and they're doing like lights on all the time. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there are COs that are going, I cannot participate in this type of shit. Like, people are being mistreated here. It's unhealthy. It's, you know, it's against policies. It's against the law. There's a lot of them. A lot of problems that have been going on in there. And my biggest issue with the jail is the medical. The fact that Scarborough's got his girlfriend making like 70% of the budget for the entire medical, and that leaves them incapable. They don't have the money to actually hire a certified person. So when something goes wrong, there's literally nobody there. And we've spoken to a family member here just a couple weeks ago, her name's Laura. Her husband was neglected to death. His blood pressure bottomed all the way out, and they knew it, and they pulled him out of the cell. They put him in a hole, okay, and then just left him there while he was like in dire need for emergency medical. Left him there until he died. Facts. Like, I got the paperwork. Facts. I got the labs. It's not okay, you know. And the reason why, Amber's not even certified to do a blood draw. Like, she couldn't even do that. So imagine, I mean, okay, so everybody can be certified to do life-saving measures in the moment. But that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about medical. A certified medical person should be able to do a lot more than just revive a person. And they definitely are neglect when they see somebody's blood pressure being critical and not getting them emergency help. But that kind of stuff's going on. And meanwhile, you got this fucking jailer, the dude that's responsible for all of it, banging the girl and tripling her pay, or 137% raise, 136, 137%, something like that, living with her. I mean, they have done all kinds of shit. And meanwhile, Scarborough's on here bragging about how he does SWAT raids with Ray Whited, with Amber with him. You know what I'm saying? Kicking people's doors in. He's a fucking jailer. He don't get to kick people's doors in. It's not his job. He's not trained. He's actually, one of our people in here, Freeman Press, he actually just got Scarborough's actual certification. He is pre-certified law enforcement. The only certification he has is a breathalyzer test. That's the only thing that Scarborough can administer out of all law enforcement stuff. So why is he kicking people's doors in and going in their houses? We're not talking about inmates. We're talking about SWAT raids. Why is he on here bragging about that shit, you know? So we can only imagine. We've also seen courts go wrong there. Like, Meade County has got probably more problems within their government than anything we've ever seen before. And this channel has been through a lot. We've seen a lot. So, we're here for you. Steve, we're here for you if you need anything. Again, my email, can Mod put email in there? Yeah, I don't know if it's real or not account, but if it is, 04publicsafety@gmail.com. That's my email. Tag, oh yeah, Angel. And so another thing Scarborough did, I mean, I could go on and on. We had like, what, 300 videos on stuff that they've done. Thank you, Nikki. Scarborough and Amber were riding in the jail truck together to work one day while they were cheating on Scarborough's wife. They spent the night together, and they were riding to work together, and they saw the mayor's son, allegedly they saw the mayor's son roll through a stop sign, the jailer, with his girlfriend, pregnant. And what does he do? Well, he pretends he's a police officer, and he gets into pursuit. He chases this guy 8 miles down a country road until they wrecked, and then mag dumped, like just got out and started shooting. 16 shots from one gun, but there were more bullet holes, and I've got some reason to believe. Let's just say that there's a witness who says that they saw Amber while pregnant hanging out the passenger window firing her firearm. What? So when I say that the courts don't do everything they're supposed to do, that's what I mean. Our lawyer is working on trying to get our case moved to a different court. We've already got a judge out of Hardin County. So, because, I mean, your courts can't be trusted, your government can't be trusted, and anything that comes out is likely to be just riddled with lies. You know, I don't know, like I said, with that case, I don't want to get too, because it's such a tragic incident, you know what I'm saying? And since we can't get the truth out of the government, we don't know what to think about it. So we're just going to sit back and accept the facts as they come and analyze them. What up, King Bow? I'll be in the house. Thank you for wrenching so well for me, Nikki. I'm familiar with the claimant civil case. I've read all the paperwork. Exactly. Freedom of press is good to talk to. But yeah, I'd be interested in seeing. Would you all be interested in getting the family's take? Even if the family's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, would y'all like to know that much? At least. I would. I'm interested in hearing their side. And not just one side neither. Like I would want to talk to more than just him. Just because I know the government there needs to be babysat hard. And what happened to that child is tragic. If there's anything we can do, let us know. So, yeah, that's how it works too, y'all. You know, people who get the word that, you know, someone's questioning the government of whatever county or whatever sheriff, and people that have experiences, they reach out, they hear we're talking about it, and that's how these connections happen, you know. Got a probation officer here in Washington State that's got a permanent desk duty because he magged up across Walmart parking lot, excuse me. Damn. Look, I ain't even surprised though. I should be. Yep. Well, y'all, I'm hungry. I gotta get Tiff her, she got a package she had me come pick up since found out I was off work after I left the lawyer. I'm gonna head home, and on the way home I'm gonna stop and get something to eat somewhere. Bring back to Tiff, and I guess we'll see you all soon. I'm working on some videos right now. Let me tell you what I'm doing on videos right now. I'm working on videos for 3 channels at a time, so they're slower coming out on the other 2 channels than they are on this one. This one, I'm refeeding a lot of stuff with I'm remaking them, but you know, they're not the same video, but it's the same incident, you know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't take a whole lot of editing for that. But then the other 2, you know, they're taking a little time, so bear with us on the slow productions. I'm only one dude, you know what I mean? But I'll always do what I've always done, you know, which is provide them to you, and it's factual and legit, and let you in on every aspect that's available. Doesn't matter which channel it's going on. Are you all aware of all the channels where you can find our content? Does everybody in here know? I'll let Nikki take care of that. Nikki, if you'll plug all that. And then, of course, don't forget I'm on other platforms, Facebook. And now when you search for this channel, it's by my name, Chris Reiter, Reiter. So if you're ever searching me, I'm still all over the internet. Just got to search Chris Reiter. So, Lenny, Nikki's going to plug it, I think. She's probably working on it right now. She's going to give you some links. Obviously, we have official misconduct. And, of course, you can find our stuff on that new channel, Exposed TV. Hell of a channel. I'm excited about that one. And then here, as long as this lasts. As long as any of them last. Obviously, YouTube is very touchy. Very touchy. When they're catering to someone's feelings like little skinhead Ruff or Todd. You know what I'm saying? Filter your water, says Dunya. Yeah. Don't want to catch the shit that's been going on around here. And I ain't talking about the flu. I'm talking about the nuttiness that comes out of the water of Meade County. All right, y'all. Love you, and I'll see you on the next one.